to Everything But the Homework. I'm Caleb,
And I'm Ronnie.
and today we have Mr. Siekmann, Mr. Faszholz, and Mr. Volkert. First, we're going to start with Mr. Siekmann. Mr. Siekmann, what's your favorite thing about teaching 6th grade?
Teaching children about Jesus, them to know about their Lord and Savior.
That's nice. Where did you go to school?
Well, for grade school, I went to St. Paul Lutheran in Rockford, Illinois, where Mr. Volkert was principal.
Not at the time, though.
But not at the same time, amazingly. And then I went to high school in Green Bay, at the Lutheran High School in Green Bay, and then college at Concordia, Chicago.
At least you're not a Packers fan.
That's correct.
What did you think you were going to do when you were in junior high?
I was going to be a 6th grade teacher when I was in junior high. By the time I was in 4th grade or 6th grade, I already knew I was going to be a 6th grade teacher, and I wanted to be an athletic director.
When did you know that you wanted to be a teacher? Probably a few thousand years ago, but let's let him answer and see.
It was a long time ago, Ronnie. But it was back when I was in 6th grade, like I said. That's when I wanted to be a teacher. But I did think of other careers as I get into high school and college.
Like what careers?
I looked at going in the military. I looked at going into being a fireman at one point.
Nice.
What was your favorite and least favorite subject in school?
My favorite subject would have to be math and science, are my favorite.
Makes sense. Teach them.
Yes, and my least favorite was English. But I always did well in English, but I didn't like English.
How long have you been teaching at Trinity?
Well, it seems like forever to some people, but it's been about 40 years now. At Trinity, 34 years. 40 overall.
Tell us a fact a student wouldn't know about you.
Well, an interesting fact a student wouldn't know about me. There's a few things that they might not know. But one interesting fact is I play trumpet.
Oh.
And most people don't always know that.
And then if you weren't going to be a teacher, what would you do for a living?
If I wasn't a teacher, I would probably be doing like construction, something like that.
Oh, okay. So like what buildings would you build, or what would you build?
I do a lot of home renovations.
Like which homes?
Like whichever homes need fixing up, like my own and some friends and things like that.
Okay, that sounds fun. Thank you for coming today, Mr. Siekmann. Say thank you, Caleb.
Thank you, Mr. Siekmann.
Is that all you need to know today?
Yep.
Well, thank you for having me.
Next we have Mr.
Next we have
Faszholz.
Mr. Faszholz. Woohoo! He's excited.
I am.
What is your favorite thing about teaching 5th grade?
I would have to agree with Mr. Siekmann with probably my favorite thing about teaching at 5th grade is being able to share Jesus with all the kids that I'm around all day long, and watching them grow to be all the way up into 8th grade. It's a whole lot of fun.
Okay, I have a follow-up to that question. What is your second favorite thing about teaching in 5th grade?
Ooh, second favorite thing is the summers. No, I'm just kidding. The second favorite thing is getting to come to school and pretty much laugh every day, because I get to spend time, at least some kids laugh. But most of the time, I enjoy joking around and have a pretty good time while I'm at school, which I find to be a good part of my day. So.
Nice.
Where did you go to school?
I went to school, believe it or not, I went to school at Trinity.
I knew that.
I did know that, and I was only up until 5th grade, and then in 6th and 7th and 8th grade, my family moved, and we lived in Texas, and then we moved back, and I went to Lutheran High School North. So that was...
It's where Caleb's going. What did you think you were going to do when you were in junior high?
When I was in junior high, I really...
Was it an aquarium worker? Because you like fish, like the humu humu nika nuku apu wa'a.
I truthfully,
But like, what did you want to do the most?
I wanted to be a firefighter because I wanted to blast something with a hose. That's what I wanted.
You
to
could
do.
blast your fish with a hose. Fish love water.
For some reason, I knew we were going to be talking about the huma huma nuka nuka.
Yeah, of course. Okay. Anyway,
When did you know that you wanted to be a teacher?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I did not really know until I went away to college, and I went into several different areas. And after going into try different things, I decided I wasn't even. I'm not even going to take credit for it. God directed me in the path that I'm on because I was not in the direction where I thought I was going to be going, but God directed me to where I'm at now. So,
What was your favorite and your least favorite subject in school?
when I was in school, my favorite subjects were social studies and science, believe it or not. And least favorite, I don't really know if I had a least favorite subject in school. I actually enjoyed all the subjects.
Art?
My dad's an art teacher, so I really didn't have a choice whether or not.
Like when you were at Trinity, your dad was the art teacher?
He was an art teacher at Lutheran High North.
Oh.
So I actually did have him as a teacher at North.
And
which
Caleb's going to have his dad's teacher at North, too.
I think Caleb is going to enjoy that quite a bit.
What did you like about having your dad at North?
Believe it or not, I didn't mind having my dad as a teacher only because I was pretty decent at art. If I weren't any good at art, I don't believe I would have enjoyed that very much.
You're lucky, Mr. Faszholz, because my dad was a principal of my high school.
Really?
Hey,
well,
I'm gonna interview you
I
for
sense
a
a
second.
pattern coming on here.
I want to know what your dad teaches at North. Caleb?
He teaches Old Testament.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You're going to have him right when you get there?
Yeah.
Okay.
First year.
That's good. That's good.
How long have you been teaching at Trinity?
I've been teaching at Trinity for 13 years now.
Oh.
Wow.
Tell us a fact a student wouldn't know about you.
A fact a student wouldn't know about me?
I could give a couple.
Please.
No.
Let's not. Can we edit Mr. Siekmann out of this?
No, we aren't editing.
Fact that students may not know about me is that I actually enjoy. No, they know that. I enjoy going golfing. I enjoy going fishing. Most of the stuff that I enjoy doing, students already know about me. There aren't many
But
things.
what do they don't?
I know. What do they don't know about me? I don't know.
Well, you gotta name your chickens or name off your chickens or something because they probably don't know the
my
names.
wife.
of them.
Here's something. My wife names my chicken. I don't even know the names of my own chickens.
That's fine.
Maybe that's a good thing. Won't
Yeah.
grow emotional attachment.
Maybe she named them after students.
After my students, oh,
And then she named one Humu Humu Niku Niku Wapa Wa'a.
that would be a very long name for a chicken.
If you weren't going to be a teacher, what would you do for a living?
If I wasn't
Work for me.
a teacher, I probably would have went into what I was doing before I was teaching, which is probably landscaping. I probably would be working landscaping.
He'd landscape while Mr. Siekmann would build the.
Yeah, there you go.
Repair
Mr.
the house.
Siekmann would build the house. I'll landscape it. We got
Yeah.
Siekmann and Faszholz contractors.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for coming on today, Mr. Faszholz.
Oh, thank you guys. It's been a pleasure. I do like talking to you,
Okay.
even if it's about the Huma Huma Nuka Nuka Apwa.
You were always fine with that. Anyway.
Next, we have Mr. Volkert.
Hi.
Hello.
Mr. Volkert, what's your favorite thing about being a principal?
So I thought about this, and I think it's because I get to see you guys grow up from when you were really little. Like I remember both of you in kindergarten. We don't have time for stories. And then I get to watch you grow up until you get to the point where you're in 8th grade and you're like making big people plans for high school and beyond.
And podcasts.
Yeah.
We should have done a podcast in kindergarten. Now I think about it. We got 8 years worth of podcasts. Where did you go to school?
I went to school at Grant Park Community Schools, and then when I was
Also, right close to here, like Grant Park.
it's I'm glad you
Just
said that.
kidding.
This was in Grant Park, Illinois,
I was kidding.
but that is true.
Just down the road.
And then I moved when I was in high school to Hamburg, New York, and did my senior year at Hamburg High School.
What did you think you were going to do when you were in junior high?
This fits in well with what we're doing. I wanted to be on the radio. I wanted to be a radio broadcaster or the third baseman for the Chicago White Sox. That didn't work out.
Well, they could have used you last year.
Ow.
Yeah, they could have.
For fun.
Good one. When did you know that you wanted to be a teacher or principal?
Well, I didn't know I wanted to be a principal until years after I started teaching, but I didn't know I wanted to be a teacher until I was my senior year in high school, and I had to decide where I was going to go to college. And so I thought, well, I can be a teacher.
Or a White Sox player, but then they probably had a bad year that year. You decided that. I don't know.
They were probably pretty good back then, yeah.
What was your favorite and least favorite subject in school?
My favorite subjects were social studies and band, and my least favorite would be math.
And tell us, or no, how long have you been teaching or a principal at Trinity?
I've been here for 10 years, and I've been teaching for 37 years.
Oh, close to Mr. Siekmann, very close.
Not, but I
You haven't
keep
reached
trying
that
to
mark
catch him, but I
yet.
can't. Yeah, keeps getting further away.
Well, once he retires, you just have 3 years, and then you'll tie.
Tell us a fact a student wouldn't know about you.
I and my wife, well, and my son, we have visited 24 Major League Baseball stadiums.
Oh.
Wow.
If you weren't going to be a teacher, what would you do for a living?
Oh, I also wanted to be an architect, like design houses.
Oh, so you could all work together.
We could have had our own firm, but I wouldn't get dirty. I would just, I would draw the
design
pictures of the houses.
Mr.
Yeah.
Siekmann would build them and furnish them, and then Mr. Faszholz would
Yes,
would make the
that's perfect.
like yard look nice.
And we do a podcast to summarize it. And yeah. And
What's the hardest part about being a principal?
When people have relational conflicts.
What's your favorite thing about being a principal?
Well, you already asked that. I already answered that one. But I'll answer it again. Watching kids grow up. I think that's pretty cool.
how many?
I knew you guys before you knew how to read.
I learned how to read it too. How many hours a
Well,
week
except
did
for
you?
Ronnie. Other kids,
Caleb, when did you learn to read?
When I was like 5.
yeah.
Oh, okay, so that could work. How many hours a week do you work?
I have no idea.
Too many, apparently.
More than one.
And you like directing bands, like you.
I
like band
do.
directing.
I love directing bands. It's like my favorite thing to do in education is to direct bands.
If only Mr. Faszholz played an instrument, then you could direct Mr. Siekmann and Mr. Faszholz.
Oh, that would be marvelous to direct Mr.
Realize
Siekmann
what I am not good
and
at.
direct Mr.
Yeah.
Faszholz.
What's that, Mr. Fassel? Music?
Any kind of music, yeah.
Oh, good thing.
He probably wouldn't make it in my band.
I
then.
would.
Yeah.
He would not be the
Triangle
first
in the
chair.
corner.
He'd be playing instruments on while he was landscaping or building, and Mr. Volkert could direct while designing the house.
Well, Mr. Volkert, thank you for coming on our podcast
Thank you.
today.
It was my pleasure.
You know,
And
I
it
have
was
one
our
more
pleasure-
thing to add,
oh.
you guys. I just want to let you know, what would I have done in my career, if I wasn't teaching? I have to let you know that I wanted to be an NBA basketball player myself.
Oh.
Now, if they had the portal back in the day, I would have entered the portal because back in the late 80s, I played basketball with Michael Jordan.
Oh.
And so, I didn't want to show him up, so I let him take the basketball path, and I continued on the teaching
You
path.
mean the 3,980s BC? Just kidding.
It was a long time ago, yes.
Well, thank you all for coming on the show today.
Thank you
you.
for asking us.
Thanks for the privilege and honor.
Thank you for joining us, and remember, the state fish of Hawaii is the humu humu nuku nuku apua.